Welcome to DDT Wrestling. Dad and Daughter Talks Wrestling, the greatest podcast on the planet
Mhm.
for wrestling news, whatever federation, whatever comes to our minds, whatever comes to our hearts and our desires about the world for wrestling. So, with that, we want to have a discussion about championships.
Yes.
Who has them? Where do we think they should go? The
hmm
general direction of WWE stories or wherever.
hmm
So, without further ado, let's go.
Let's talk wrestling. So we will go through all of the main roster championships, which I believe there are a total of 11. So first, we're gonna start bottom up. So I want to start with the women's tag team championships, which right now, that is Brie Bella and Paige. So initially, we thought that it would be the Bella twins to win that WrestleMania match, but Nikki Bella actually had an ankle injury, and a lot of people were speculating, oh, what's gonna happen? And to most people's surprise, Paige made that return on WrestleMania, which was very exciting. And usually, what comes with WrestleMania returns is that win. So, Brie Bella and Paige became victorious in that tag match. So then, as far as what I think, so there's been a lot of the same rinse and repeat stuff with these women's tag titles. Them going out to the middle of the ring and being like, "We'll take on anyone," and the same girls coming out, Alexa and Charlotte, the Irresistible Forces, Bailey and Lyra, just the same rinse and repeat stuff, which I understand, it's not a lot of creativity when it comes to tag teams, but as far as who I think will take it, so right now I don't know if they have a match scheduled for them for Saturday Night's Main Event on the 23rd or for Clash in Italy on the 31st, but regardless, it's going to be one of the teams to take it off of them at some point. However, there is a little some loomings, right? Where we know that this could have been Nikki Bella and Brie Bella as the Bella twins, finally being reunited and
Right.
getting, a title back together. So I have seen, some speakings about, hey, once Nikki Bella comes back and she's not injured anymore, she might want her spot back. She might want that title. So who's to say that she doesn't do what Nikki Bella does and attack? Um, we know that there's a great feud. There has been a great feud between Paige and the Bella twins back in the day. So it would be pretty cool if we did see Nikki Bella turn heel because that's who she is. That's just her brand. She's turned on her sister so many times. So it just makes sense that she turns heel. She turned on Stephanie Vaquer. So Nikki Bella, after she's okay, maybe she's on the Sunshine Sally, but then she gets jealous and she attacks Paige. Kind of, how we always see trios done, but also more recently with the Naomi and Jade and Bianca situation that happened. It would be interesting to see Paige maybe attacked randomly. I don't know if it would be as dramatic as Bianca and Jade and Naomi, but
Right.
Nikki attacking Paige, and then kind of Paige left alone. And even further, I did see people being like, "This will be a perfect way to reintegrate AJ Lee back in." Because Paige will be basically handicapped at that point, and we know that there's history between all four of those women, just basically making it feel like the 2010s Divas era. So yeah, I actually I would love for Bailey and Lyra to get their flowers. I think they deserve it as a tag team, but based on WWE and kind of who has the championship right now and the circumstance of the Bella twins, I think, you know, and also timelines for Nikki Bella's ankle injury, I really think that that could happen.
So I'll start my comment by saying WWE does not give a F
No.
about tag team championships,
No.
especially the men's. There's so many talented women. I think it's like
Yes.
we got to get them on the screen somehow. We
Right.
have Charlotte Flair in the tag team division.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but every week is the same thing, and it was the same build up at
Yes.
WrestleMania. You have four teams of women going after the world titles. Oh, I don't know what to do with them. Just put them in the tag match.
Yeah.
That's literally the booking for the tag match. But you have definitely have a chance to put them on someone that could really put some heat on them. Now,
Oh,
now it's great that you have
I just came up with something.
Paige and you have Brie back.
Yeah.
I don't know about the whole AJ Lee thing because I don't know if you saw that whole story with CM Punk pushing the guy when AJ Lee and Bailey were
Oh,
hugging in the
yeah.
elevator.
Mm-hmm.
To me, that was like goodbye. I'm going to be gone for a long time. I don't think AJ Lee is looking to be
To be back in the limelight.
like really be back on a regular basis. She's probably
Yeah.
going to be a special event type person,
Okay.
like the Brock Lesnar deal.
Yeah.
But that company is very high on fatal influence.
I would love that. I
You
just
knew I was
thought of that.
going there. They are a legit heel group. They got
Yes.
some massive heat. They got Dom Mysterio
Booze.
a few years ago, a
Yeah.
few months ago. Dom Mysterio. He does not getting that crazy heat now. People kind of cheer him somewhat, but
Yeah.
I think a good way. I mean, it's multiple things because I want to see. Um, if you can correct me if I'm wrong. When the Judgment Day had the titles, Roxanne Perez never had the tag titles. I don't think.
No, she did. She did have it
Oh, she
with
had it.
she had it. Yeah, she had it with both Raquel and with Liv. Because remember when Liv was out? So when Liv was out,
Oh,
it
right.
was her for a little bit, and then there was a moment where I believe she got the tag titles with Liv before they eventually lost them for Liv to win the Rumble and become the women's champion.
Okay.
So she had that was her first title. That was her first title on the.
Okay, yeah, I couldn't remember if it was
Mhm,
Liv and Raquel as champions, but there you
mhm,
go. That let me just scrap what I was gonna say. Put them titles on Fatal Influence. Let
mhm.
them get heat. They get
I
heat.
would love that.
Let them get heat with gold over their shoulders.
Yeah.
Like, those girls are so good.
Mhm.
Um, it's just crazy. Lainey was in Evolve and
Yes.
on NXT for a cup of coffee, really, and now she's on
On
SmackDown.
SmackDown.
But she's so good. She's actually
Yes.
so good. Man, just what they're doing down there in NXT is crazy.
Mhm.
They have a generator of
Yes.
creating really good, and those three women are so good. Like we'll probably talk about her later, JC Jane. Um, I mean, could definitely be put in a title scene, a singles title scene, whether it's the world title or the secondary. But we're talking about the women's tags. We've seen the story of Bliss and Flair. We've seen Nia Jax and Lash.
Yeah.
Put them on
Fatal.
Fatal Influence. I want to see that.
Yeah. No, that would be great. I literally just as I finished that story with the whole Nikki turning, like Fatal Influence, it just makes sense. It's also more reliable too. Like, I mean, I don't really know what the contract looks like for the Bella Twins, but like Fatal Influence is in there for the long run, and they'll be there every week. They can defend every week.
Right.
So great. They have great compatibility with everyone in the ring. So I'm like, I think actually it would be more advantageous to put it on them than the Bella Twins, in my opinion.
But why not? Your story, it makes sense. You could have
Hmm.
Nikki come back. You're not my sister.
Yeah.
Causing
Right.
issues. She could be the reason why Fatal Influence, they have those.
Oh, true.
It
True.
works. It
It does.
works.
It does
They
work.
benefit from their
Right.
turmoil.
Right. So
Because,
yeah,
they're laughing and pointing as they're holding the titles at the end.
yeah, they
Why
really
the-
could they could kill
and
two birds with one stone here.
who do you hook up Paige with? You could maybe bring I don't know.
Yeah.
There's some other legends you can bring up that you can bring in. There's some other
Yeah.
people, or you can link her up with a new person. I
That's
mean,
true. It doesn't
there's
have to
multiple
be
things you can do there to link up with Paige. That
right.
only helps them get the rub off of Paige, and you're going
Mm-hmm.
against the Bellas. That helps a
Mm-hmm.
face.
Right.
So it is a women's feud without titles involved, which
Oh,
you
please.
definitely need more of. Soul
Yes.
Roka.
Oh my God. Yeah. Sol Ruka. Right there.
Soul Ruka, you could do that. Um, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think those titles have fatal influence written all over them.
Yeah, yeah, and one can only hope that WWE also sees that as well. On the topic of tag championships, so we have Damian Priest and R-Truth as the WWE Tag Team Championships. I actually forgot who they won it from. I'm not gonna lie. It could have been the MFTs, it could have been the Usos, it could have been the Wyatt Six. I honestly do not remember who they won it from. But honestly, you kind of called this like they needed to do something with Damian Priest, so sticking him with R-Truth gives him that face pop, and it also gives him the opportunity if they want to make him heel. R-Truth is the perfect person for that. Um, I am very below lukewarm about both of the men's titles. Right now they're in a feud with Kit Wilson and The Miz. Um, and I actually didn't know that Kit Wilson and The Miz would become a tag team, but The Miz is also dealing with like Danhausen and everything like that. So, I'm unsure, if this will ultimately result into Kit and Miz becoming like a long-term tag team, but I do believe that there needs to be like heels after Damien and Truth, and they could play it out where, Damien is sick and tired of our Truth not following his directions, and then that ultimately causes them to fall into turmoil and to lose it. But yeah, the only people I can think of right now is Kit and Miz because they haven't recently like had a fight. I mean, well, Damien did have he had a match with Tamatonga, I believe. So the
Right.
MFTs are still looking at the tag titles. So I'm like, they could play it out where Damien and Truth have a falling out because Truth like didn't listen to him, and it either goes to Kit and Miz or the MFTs. But regardless, that still does not change how underwhelmed I am with these titles. It's just bad writing, honestly.
You really just have one tag team, legit tag team. Like, what the heck happened to Fraxium? And I forgot about them, but then you have the Street Profits. They need
Hmm.
to combine these titles.
I totally agree.
Oh, the
Totally agree.
Usos, but the Usos are busy being the
Yeah, the
bell boys
lackeys.
for Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
I have a interesting tag team that I think you could put titles on.
Ooh. Oh, does it have to do, is it Ricky Saints involved in this?
And then you threw his name out there, but no,
Oh no.
no.
Who are you
But now that
talking
you
about?
throw that, that kind of throws a wrench in some things. But we saw an interaction happen on SmackDown,
Did
and we
we?
saw a person that was basically immobile open their eyes and look up at this person after they had their set.
Oh, you're talking about Mr. Plankman and Mr. Gingerbread Man.
I think that works.
It does work.
I think that works as a tag team. I
Their
think
fighting
you know they're gonna
styles.
give great matches.
Yes.
They can be heels, underdogs. They can do it all. Like
I'm
I
into that.
actually now that I'm talking about that, get those titles off of, I'm sorry, Damian Priest and
In our
R-Truth.
truth.
I don't want to see him on the MFTs because you're not going to see him.
No,
Get
exactly.
him on. Look. We talk about this. Sami Zayn is getting like 2 or 3 segments every show.
Exactly. He's
So
always
they
on
see
TV.
something in him.
Yeah.
Put the tag team titles on him. It
Yeah.
helps Johnny Gargano.
It does. Yeah.
It gets him. Him and his wife will be on screen. Like there you
Mm-hmm.
go.
Mm-hmm.
Like let Sami Zayn fill the Tommaso Ciampa void.
Yeah. Why not? Why
But
not?
as far as it's just it's so pathetic how they just don't care about the tag teams. Combine the tag team belts,
Mm-hmm.
have the champions go to the different shows or whatever.
Right.
That way, like they've just forgotten about um oh my God, you call them the Isley brothers so much. I forget their actual the Creed brothers.
The Creed brothers that are now,
They're
under
luchadors.
yeah, the luchadors now with Grande Americano original. So
Right. They're luch I mean, I assume it's them.
yeah, it might not be
Julio
them.
and Bruno.
For all we know.
I assume it's them, but oh my goodness. Please, for the love of God, like no steam with and I'm sure I don't know if you're going to talk about them next if we're going to them next, but
Yeah,
Austin Theory
briefly. Yeah.
and Logan Paul, like there's
Mm-hmm.
nothing there. They're probably
Right.
going to lose them to the
Yeah.
Street Profits, which
Mm-hmm.
is another issue right there.
Right,
Um,
right.
but yeah, as far as the titles that's held on SmackDown, I mean, I don't know if Kit and Miz are a thing right now. I mean,
Uh-huh.
that's just another oddball couple. Maybe I just put together an oddball ball couple as tag champions with Sami Zayn and Johnny Gargano, but
Mm-hmm.
for some reason that feels like that could work. I think
It
I would like
does.
seeing them holding tag team gold.
Mm-hmm.
Sami Zayn gets himself on TV.
Yes.
So clearly, it's a way to keep heat on him. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's my pick. Is
Yeah.
who I would like to see get those titles. But it absolutely Damian Priest and R-Truth, they the oddball couple is just no,
Yeah.
no. No.
Yeah, no, I am tired of that. WWE loves an oddball couple. They
I
love doing
love
that.
R-Truth.
Yeah.
I'm tired.
Yeah.
I love that man.
Mm-hmm. Ryan Killings, we love you. But it really, because it just like, it's like, you know, SmackDown being 3 hours long. And you're just like, man, you can tell that they're just trying to grasp at these
Let's throw some
straws.
stuff at the wall.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. But we already kind of touched into it with the vision. There's not really much more to say, but I do want to point out one thing that I like about that you said. So yeah, Braun Breaker, you know, obviously we knew that he was going to return at WrestleMania and cause Seth Rollins the match. You know, it just feels so odd. He's back in the vision, but like before he got injured, he was solidified as the leader. But, you know, we really haven't seen him, you know, like re-enter into that dynamic with the vision like before because Logan Paul has kind of taken over as like the primary, you know, like the one who primarily talks. So yeah, I'm just like you mentioned he should be done with them and I kind of agree, but obviously, you know, there's like no backbone to the vision, you know, like and it's really sad. Logan Paul is I consider him to be more charismatic than definitely Austin Theory and also Braun Breaker. So I'm like, it makes sense that he was able to take over. Honestly, like the most profound thing or memorable thing that Austin Theory has said is when he made fun of Montez Ford for basically saying like, yeah, he has to come back because his wife can't be the breadwinner anymore. You know, it's always about the wife. You know, it's always the wife. It's what you do always. So
Low
I'm
hanging
like,
fruit.
at this point, honestly, if they take the titles off the vision, they don't have anything. Like they truly don't have anything. And it's like at a point where I don't even know a mastermind like Paul Heyman could save it. Like it's just I don't know. It's depleted. You know, Seth Rollins, he's still focused on ruining the vision and dismembering it and breaking it up forever. And I think if that's what he's pursuing, yes, he lost to Braun Breaker, but I'm like, he can still break up the vision for good. You know, Braun Breaker can still just end up as a soloist and they can continue their feud. But I think they put the vision to rest. They're not doing anything for me anytime they're on the screen. Absolutely nothing.
They don't have like chemistry.
Chemistry, none,
They don't have chemistry.
none.
And it's odd for Paul Heyman, a Paul
Very
Heyman
odd.
back. As soon as Seth got injured, it was the end.
It was the end, yeah.
It was the end. I, I mean, first of all, the only real tag team on that roster, I mean, unless I'm forgetting somebody, Street Profits take the titles from them.
They
But
will,
after
yeah.
that, I can see a world where um Braun Breaker, I'm done. I'm done. Paul Heyman stays with Logan Paul. I
Mm,
think that's a heat machine right there.
I agree.
Austin Theory, we wanted him to come back as a face. He
He didn't.
disappears for a little bit. He's
Mm-hmm.
still so young. Like, come on,
He's so young.
he looks amazing. And
Mm-hmm.
he can work in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
Give him a run as a face. They haven't tried that I recall.
No, they haven't.
Give him a run as a face. Let Logan turn on him.
Mm-hmm.
Let both of them beat the crap out of him. But Braun Breaker needs to break away. I think he can be a successful face or gray area person
Because
like
people
by
like to woof
himself.
anyway. Yeah. People like
Right,
to, he has a callback anyway.
right,
So I'm
right.
like, why not?
Yeah, but as far as those titles, personally, I still again combine those titles, have the Street Profits and Johnny Gargano and Sami Zayn combine them at SummerSlams, and I don't care who takes them.
Yeah, why not? And just do a ladder match. Like, please, please.
Yeah,
Like just Uh, I don't know what I don't know. I understand like when they first like you know had them split because there were so many tag teams at the time.
right.
But at this point they're not doing anything with them.
They don't care.
They don't
They don't
care.
care
They
at all.
it's literally in the back of their mind. But now moving on to our solo titles. So first, we're gonna do the women's United States champion, which right now is Tiffany Stratton. So yeah, I mean, as soon as Tiffy time was back because the women's main title picture was too congested, you know, they had to do something, right? You can't just have Tiffany Stratton without some kind of gold or in some kind of storyline as Tiffany Stratton, right? So, yep, she won the U.S. title from Julia, which was to be expected. Um, and right now she's kind of in this like limbo area, still fighting with Kiana James and Julia, which we are still waiting on their breakup because we think it's gonna happen. It's like right there. WWE loves to story, 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 and then right when you see the breakup, they're like, let's add 5 more weeks to this. It's just weird that they like to do that, but they always do that. They've done it so many times. They did it with the Jade Naomi thing. They did it with the Judgment Day. It's crazy. Like let's add 5 more weeks. Let's add a year. I'm like, okay. But you actually mentioned this. We've seen, a little movie package, a little promo for Blake Monroe. She will be headed to the main roster, and I believe she'll be on. I didn't think that they're gonna do the same brand as Tiffany Stratton, but I think she will be on the same brand. I think she's headed to SmackDown, but I'm not 100% certain on that. I don't remember which one, but I mean, hey, people can
They
hop
only
back and
show
forth. Yeah, like
right. They only showed on SmackDown, so I'm assuming
okay. Yeah,
SmackDown.
so SmackDown. So yeah, I mean, shoot, man, like that's an instant feud. Like they, are kind of the same genre of women's wrestler. Like they kind of have a similar like, concept. Like Blake Monroe is kind of more of like the girly, like I'm the fashionista, beautiful, Barbie, while Tiffany Stratton has taken on this like buff Barbie kind of vibe. But I mean, hey, I thought it would clash, but if they do end up if they're on the same show, I think it would be great. There have been some funny segments with Chelsea Green trying to recruit Tiffany Stratton on her um on a part of her because she lost her secret Herbist, but um yeah, so I don't really know what's it gonna look like with that. I would love for Chelsea Green to return back to having a title at some point, or maybe the Money in the Bank. But yeah, I think Blake Monroe would be a great person to have a first feud. Now it's like wow, her first feud, and she's already in the title picture. But I think she's there. I think she was ready for the main roster when they announced that she would be a WWE branded. So it'll be cool to see what they do with her, but I think right now I'm tired of the back and forth with Julia and Kiana. They need something for Tiffany, and I think Blake would be a great fit to really have a good feud with Tiffany.
Yeah, I think that's kind of over because didn't Tiffany they did she did a rematch with Julia and
She
beat her.
did I don't know. I think she beat Julia and then because their match wasn't on WrestleMania. So she beat Julia, she got the title, but the
Right.
rematch was with Kiana James. And I think the expectation was that Julia would have it, but that's where Julia got mad and where I thought they would break up, but then they're still
Well,
together.
they did have a like I think there was a segment with Flair and Bliss
And they were yelling at each other.
in the background.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
closer.
Yeah.
I'm wondering what they're doing with this whole Chelsea and Tiffany thing.
Yeah.
Is Chelsea going to turn on her? What if Chelsea and Blake?
That would be
That
interesting.
would be hilarious. They would have hilarious
Bait
vision.
and switch.
I don't know how that works, but
Right.
it would be entertaining, I think. I think
Very
it'd be very
entertaining.
entertaining. Like
Mm-hmm.
they put this title on is Tiffany Stratton a transitional champion for Blake Monroe?
Ooh,
Blake
maybe.
ain't showing up just to not win a title. Like, hey,
Right. Like they didn't just bring her up for nothing.
would that make her the first, potentially the first NXT call up that gets a title?
Oh, like immediately?
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe.
maybe because I got a feeling, well, we'll get to that title, but
Mm-hmm.
I won't spoil. But
Okay.
um, yeah, I think I don't know what they're doing with JC Jane. I don't know. Are they
Mm-hmm.
gonna push her to the main title picture? Or could they have her win like the US?
Mm-hmm.
I think a good path is to have her win the US
Against Tiffany?
against Tiffany. I want to see them with all gold. I
I
want to see
agree.
her with the US.
I
It puts
agree.
heat. I'm
It
sorry.
does.
Tiffany time doesn't get
It
she's
doesn't get as
breaking.
much heat anymore. Yeah.
No, but I'm telling you, there is a dearth of really good heels
Mm-hmm.
like in that company that get people to pay attention. They don't have
Mm-hmm.
it. And I think they got a group right there. Lace them up with gold. Um,
Yeah.
make people hate that they're holding the gold. I think I think for JC the US title would really this is a perfect case where the title shouldn't elevate the person should elevate the title.
Agreed.
That's what JC Jane would do for the US title.
Yes. Yes.
I
Because look at when because nobody expected JC Jane to beat Stephanie Vaquer for the women's NXT title.
right.
Every defense that JC Jane had with that NXT title was a 10 out of 10 match. Every
Wow.
single one. Like she had a great series of matches with Lola Vice. And then honestly, I'm blanking on like every other person
He
that she's
fought
had a match with.
everyone.
But because she fought the whole
He fought
roster.
everyone and
And
beat all of them.
they're right, exactly. Even if it was like a fluke win, it was still such an entertaining match. So I'm like, with the and I remember being so ecstatic when they finally announced that the women were having mid-tier titles. And I just feel like the way that they've been doing it is kind of dropping the ball with not showing them on TV, not showing them in PLEs. And I think JC Jane, it's always great, that when the heel has the title and the faces are in the chase.
Are
It,
chasing.
it, it just makes for such great storytelling. So I'm like, if JC Jane holds that, it'll be great because you can go through all of the tweeners and all of the faces and have give us some cinematic match. They were main eventing NXT that and all the
Right.
PLEs and all the regular programming because of how entertaining it was. So it would be great for JC to get that US title if it's not Blake.
WWE writers,
We're
we're trying to help you.
trying to help you.
You are lazy booking those women tag titles and that US title. It is horrible.
It's
You
terrible.
currently have brand new heat magnets.
Yes.
They are on your screen. You just feel like booing. Not me. I love them. All three of them.
Yeah.
Like
Not me.
Fallon can go, Laney can go, and then we won't
Hmm.
even need to talk about JC Jane. Like
Hmm.
put the gold on all three of them before
Hmm.
SummerSlam. Let them get ratings on your TV shows. But
Yeah.
look, I love Blake too, but I think you can hold off on her having a
I agree.
title.
I
She
agree.
can just, you know, be an ass like she's been on NXT without holding a title. Just straight up, just be. The funny thing is, at a dark match, she actually went up against Jordan oh my
Grace.
God, Grace.
Hmm. That's
So
funny.
I don't know if they'll rehash that again. That would be funny.
That would be
But
funny.
yeah, I'm all about. I'm gonna get some of their merch eventually.
Yeah.
But
No,
yeah,
like, and this kind of made me think of something. I'm like, yeah, they can have their little hoorah through the summer, but could you imagine how exciting it would be if JC Jane got the money in the bank? I'm on this Chelsea Green train, but I feel like it would be so exciting if JC Jane also had, if it's not Chelsea and, I just think a heel with the briefcase is what I want at the end of the day.
a hill with the briefcase. JC yet? I don't know. I
You
gotta
don't know?
ponder the landscape.
Yeah.
I gotta ponder the landscape. Do I want JC or Blake?
Or Blake. Or
She
it's like
imagine her
JC.
glamming up the briefcase.
Oh my God, dude. She'll like bedazzle it. I'm like, there's a lot of contenders for that briefcase, like JC, Blake, Solruka, Roxanne. And then Chelsea, of course, is like just the one that I'm like, I need to see her with the briefcase.
I need to see her with a yeah. I need to see her with. I want her to have that world title eventually. One of them.
Please.
One of
One
the
of
women's
them.
titles. She was recently on somewhere talking about she wants to be the first woman to
To
lose.
lose.
No, no,
Why?
no,
Why,
no. I
Chelsea?
get it. She gets the business. No.
Right, right. She's just
Her
trying to do
selfish
business.
natures. No, Chelsea.
I know. I
No,
know. Please,
no.
no. Anything but that. Um, but moving on next to the men's US title. So right now it is in possession of Mr. Tricky Boy Trick Williams, where he defended it or no, he won it at WrestleMania from Sami Zayn. Now, I say this every week. I am a big advocate for Carmelo Hayes, and it's unfortunate how the title had to be taken off of him in order for them to, progress the storyline with Trick and Sammy. I understand because they wouldn't have been on the WrestleMania card if they didn't have the title. But regardless, Trick has it right now, and hopefully the Sammy and Trick feud is put to rest because Trick beat him at Mania. The gingerbread funeral happened, at the end of SmackDown, 3 hour SmackDown. They decided to have that as the ending segment. So yeah, gingerbread funeral, and then of course, the rematch. I was like, whoa, are they gonna put it right back on Sammy? They had a great match, but
Sammy's
yeah, Yeah, right. So I'm like, all right, I think that it's put to right. Usually after the person loses the rematch, that's when the feud is like done. That's usually the rules. So hopefully that's the case. And then like now it's like, what's next for Trick? He still has Lil Yachty on his side. So he still has a means of, having help. He got major face pop when he was in his hometown in South Carolina, but I want them to, just let the crowd do what the crowd wants to do. They don't necessarily have to book Trick to be an evil heel or a super face. They can just let it naturally flow. If they want to
Right.
keep Yachty on his side, fine, whatever. But the addition of Yachty does definitely lean more heel because Yachty can help him cheat. So I'm
All right.
like, that's just that's just gonna be what it is. Um, but like right now, like I said, I'm an advocate for Hayes. I think that Hayes and Trick having a feud is something that is main event WrestleMania material for them to savor up. They could revisit that if they wanted to, but at this point, I don't know who I want to beat Trick Williams. I'm very comfortable with him as the U.S. holder right now. And I think there's more people that are like kind of contending for the men's IC title than right now for the men's US title, especially if Sami Zayn is now going to be with Johnny Gargano. I'm like, I'm really trying to rack my brain around, who exactly they are advertising as like mid-tier soloist. Like Ricky Saints got the call up. Ethan got the call up, but he's on Raw. I think Ricky's on SmackDown. Because he recently had to go at Hayes, so they could do that. I mean, they could decide to if they want to revisit the Hayes and Trick, or if Ricky's like, what, I want that title too. How about them apples? They really could go either way because they both have connective tissue with Trick Williams. Um, but I am very comfortable with him holding on to the title. Like I don't think he needs to lose it within the next couple of PLEs. I think by SummerSlam it'll probably be off of him. Because at that point, he might want to be, contending for the main titles. Maybe they put him in the King of the Ring tournament, maybe they put him in the Money in the Bank. Because I don't know, does it like has somebody who had a mid-tier title been in the Money in the Bank before? Like I'm pretty sure there's probably some statistic out there that's like, yeah, you can still be in the Money in the Bank if you already have a title. But so yeah, I'm very comfortable with Trick holding on to the title for the time being, but I know that there is opportunity for them to revisit either Hayes or revisit Ricky Saints.
So I don't think that title had the same issues as the women's US title. Remember how I
Hmm.
literally just said the person making a title?
Yeah.
I don't think it had an issue because you had multiple um open challenges. Dragonoff did it
Yes.
well. Sami Zayn
Yes.
did it well. I
Mm-hmm.
mean that they had that going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm opposite. Trick does not need a title at this stage, and it's
Mm.
early. He does not
It
need a
is
title.
early. It is early.
And like to your point, having Lil Yachty there is very heelish.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and we like to see titles on heels so the a baby face can chase.
Mm-hmm.
My pick is you have some multi-person match, and there's a bona fide heel now on the roster, Ricky
Mm-hmm.
Saints. Put the title on Ricky Saints.
Why not?
You
Why
know,
not?
he's he talks all the talk and have Carmelo chase him. They had a good match,
Yeah.
but he could go back and forth with him. He can go back and forth with Dragonoff wherever
Mm-hmm.
they're hiding him. You
Yeah.
know, put him in a ring with Ray Phoenix. Like have you can have Ricky Saints really be on a nice heel run with that US title. So he is my
Agreed.
pick. Trick does not need it because you can elevate that man to a Money in the Bank briefcase,
Yes.
to a world title.
Mm-hmm.
I can
I
see him
agree.
standing across from Cody
Mm-hmm.
or the person that I think should ultimately get his title.
Mm-hmm.
But I could see that. So yeah, I think Trick doesn't need that title. I would like to
Mm-hmm.
see ultimately Ricky Saints somehow get that title. Maybe in a multi-man match, he pins Mello or Dragonoff or whoever else they put in a match. But I like to see Ricky Saints walking around with that title on his shoulder, looking
Mm-hmm.
like The Rock.
Yeah. Oh my God, look like The Rock. Dude, low key, like, I like he does give it, but I never found an issue with it. Like, I know people criticize and like, oh, he
No,
looks like I'm
whatever.
like, who cares, dude? Like, he's entertaining and he does it well.
Yeah.
Um, But so now moving on to the IC title. So the women's IC title is Becky Lynch, and she won it back from AJ Lee at WrestleMania, which was to be expected. It's one of the things we predicted, especially considering the fact that we knew AJ Lee wasn't going to be like a long term kind of person. Becky Lynch has added a lot of great heat to the IC title. I have had, a desire, I have had the appetite for Becky to come back to the main title picture, but, I'm not mad at this. She's on my TV. She's still doing the funny things. Sports Illustrated said it, Bleacher Report, Fox News, etc. So I really love this era of Becky. Right now, I have seen people that were interested in seeing if she could go back to being a face. She can do whatever. She can do whatever. She is a chameleon at this
Right,
point.
right.
Um, so she did have when Sol Ruka went on to Sol Ruka got to come up and went to sign her contract. Becky Lynch was there to kind of give her the rub, which is really cool. So I don't know if they continue this as like a drawn out feud or if that was just kind of like a watch your step, rookie. And you know where to find me. I'm not hard to find. Everybody likes to say that these days, especially Cody
Yeah.
Rhodes. But yeah, I think Becky will keep it. There's not really anyone who I think will take it from her immediately, but I do see them kind of, teasing Sol Ruka into, becoming that, or at least close to that, because we've seen Sol Ruka is awesome. I think her final match on NXT was a great final match, very emotional final match. But yeah, I think I'm very excited to see what she has next. But right now, she's the only one I can think of to not necessarily take the title off of Becky, but to be in a match for the title with Becky. And
Right.
then maybe there's some, some shenanigans that goes on because she doesn't necessarily need a title immediately at this point.
You know who I think should take it from her?
From
Fatal
Becky,
Influence. No.
put it all on them, every
But give them
title.
everything.
Give them
Give them the
everything.
men's titles. Give them
Give them AAA. Give them Evolve. Give them
the
everything.
AEW
Give them
title.
TNA.
No, I think you're dead on. Becky Lynch is completely elevating that title. Let her
hmm
keep that title because when someone finally beats her, it'll be a big moment. I
Yeah.
love Becky Lynch. I was listening to like the weekend edition of like Busted Open, and
hmm
um Mark Henry had a question about if you were starting a women's division, your own
hmm
federation,
Yeah.
with some of the women right now in WWE, like
hmm
there was him and another guy. I can't remember who it was, but
hmm
who would you pick? And other guy's first pick was Becky Lynch because
mm
of the reasons that you said. Chameleon,
hmm
you need a face. She can be that.
Yeah.
You need a dastardly heel. She can do
hmm
that. You
Yeah.
need someone to have a great match. She's
Yeah.
doing that. You need whatever you need. A backstage segment. She can do that. Like, let her hang on to that title. Right now, I think you're building Sol Ruka up.
hmm
I don't know if you're gonna have Io go for that again. Um, I mean, I guess you can't really put down the idea of Io going for it,
Right.
considering Becky Lynch is a multi-time women's champion,
Exactly.
and she's currently holding a air quote mid-tier title.
Right.
I'm gonna
Right.
call it that. But no, let her hang on to it. Build up some faces that we can really want to see, take it.
hmm
Um, oh, and by the way, of course, Mark Henry said Charlotte Flair, but I'm off that bandwagon. I'm like pro Charlotte right now. I want her back in the world title scene, but that's another section of our conversation. But Becky Lynch, hang on to that title. She's elevating the title. She's elevating the division. That woman's unselfish.
hmm
We've seen her do it in NXT. Yeah, Becky Lynch,
hmm
all the way. Go.
So now on to the men's IC title is Penta, and he defended it in a ladder match, or in a ladder match with like a bunch of people, and won. He was successful with the runner-up being Javon Evans. That was a great match. That was a fantastic match at WrestleMania. So yeah, right now we have basically all the people that were the contenders in that match kind of still on his tail about winning it. We have Javon Evans, we have Rusev, and now Ethan Page has kind of entered in after getting the call up for winning some gold. So quite a lot of faces interested in getting this title. And initially, I thought that Javon Evans would be the one to take it off of Penta. However, some people like the pattern of face heel to kind of get that just regular, WWE good old storyline going. So I think the next face that I see has the highest potential of taking that title off of Penta right now, even though he just got the call up, is Ethan Page. I would be surprised if Rusev got it. I mean, he's good for the big man heel, but personally, even though they already had their own clash, I was just about to say like Rusev could be the one to answer Obafemi's open challenge again if he wants to, but they actually already had a match to which Obafemi destroyed him.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm like yes, he just got the call up, but Ethan, he already is fitting in very well to this roster, which it makes sense. Like he's a perfect heel. Just a perfect like troll kind of heel, perfect jester kind
Yeah.
of heel. So
Yeah.
that's exactly what you need. Ethan and Javon both have connective tissue. Ethan wanted to ruin his smile and he like broke his throat with a chair or something like that, something crazy like that back on NXT.
Did he knock his teeth out or something?
Yeah, something like that, where he like
His wired shut.
he got it wired shut and couldn't even talk. So there's still connective tissue there. I mean, Giovanna Evans ultimately like beat him. But I mean, they can still revisit that feud again if they would like. But yeah, like though there's a lot more faces, so they could, if they wanted to, they could give it to Javon. But I think it would be cooler to see it go from Penta to Ethan, and then Ethan and Javon have a great match together. But yeah, I mean. Javon, like I was ready for him to just immediately like because he's so awesome. But I do like how they've kind of eased into him
Right.
being in all these matches. I think they've done great pacing for him because he got the call up before both Ethan and before because I mean at that point there was nothing left for him. So they were like, "Yep,
Right.
you're done." And there were still a little bit lingering things for the others that were caught up a little bit after him. So yeah, at that point, Oba and Javon kind of got the call up around that same time, and we can see what they're doing with Oba. And Javon, a little younger. I think they still want him to get a little bit more comfortable doing the promo work, but he's very personable with the crowd. He has a little bit of a callback with the crowd too, so he's awesome. But I do like how they've been pacing him, so I'm well okay with being patient. I think
Right.
he will be in the King of the Ring tournament. He'll be in the Money in the Bank. So
Of course.
many opportunity for him to continue to show off. So I wouldn't be surprised if they kind of hold off before he has his first title for basically the remainder of the year. But if he were to get one, I think like right in this hub of time with the IC title, it's where they do it most.
Right. Yeah, I mean, what you didn't mention is Penta is awesome. You
Yeah,
know,
he's
he's been
great.
awesome with it. I
Yeah,
get it. Like, however,
yeah.
I think the pathway to Javon and
Hmm.
where they're ultimately going is Ethan Page.
Yeah.
Let Ethan get that title at this Saturday Night Main Event. Let him put the maple leaf on that title.
Why
Be the
not?
greatest North America. I mean, it's the
Canadian.
intercontinental. It,
Yeah,
it,
that's true.
it, it
Intercontinental.
fits. It
Yeah, that's true.
fits.
It fits. Intercontinental.
So, um, so yeah, let him do that, and let Javon chase
Yeah.
and ultimately get the prize. Like I want to, I like Ethan Page so much. Like I
Hmm.
definitely want to see him, um, get a hold of a title, because he's doing his job. He did the job in NXT.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, I mean we have NXT guys winning both mid-tier titles immediately. We
Exactly.
have NXT people winning everything right now.
Right. No, exactly. Because
That
the
shows how
talent's
good of a
unmatched.
yeah, it shows how good of a job Shawn Michaels and their team
Hmm.
are doing down there.
Hmm.
Um, we haven't even got to the big boys yet,
Right.
the big
Exactly.
titles. But yeah, I want to see Ethan Page win his title at Saturday night's main event,
Hmm.
and a nice program ultimately with Javon eventually, and Javon
Hmm.
comes out. But yeah, they're doing a really good job because you know they they tend to rush stuff,
Yes.
and they don't need to do that. They don't need to
Mm-mm.
do that. I don't want to say they did that with Trick. He's so over. I just
He's
don't
so
think
over.
he needs a title, but we
He
already
didn't.
went through that. But
Hmm.
yeah, Ethan Page
Hmm.
ultimately get to Javon.
Hmm. Exactly. And also I want to mention like if Ethan Page wins it, I'm not worried about Penta's future because we've talked about this so many times. There's an easy route for what they can do with Penta once he's titleless, and that is pair him up with his freaking brother. We want them back. We want them back. They would be amazing to add to the tag team title picture right now. So I'm like, and also we haven't seen we, we haven't seen Ray Phoenix like on TV in
He
like
was
a
at the
while.
funeral. He was at
Oh,
the funeral.
he was at the funeral. He was at the funeral. Oh my God.
Bruh. Ray Phoenix and Penta versus the Street Profits.
Please. Oh my gosh. Like
Man.
anything. I would do anything for it. Like, oh my gosh. I'm just like,
Yes.
there's a perfect spot for
That's a
him.
SummerSlam match right there.
That's what I'm saying. I'm like, they want to do 2 night SummerSlam. You better put them tag teams in SummerSlam. You want to do two
Yeah.
nights? Come on now. Like, it's
Yeah.
just perfect.
He's very
So,
over as a singles wrestler, and I don't think they want to do that. More so, of course, than his brother Ray Phoenix. But
yes.
I think there's nothing wrong with putting him there,
No, there's
especially
not.
if he loses this IC title. So,
Yeah,
but yeah,
exactly. I don't know. Again, I hope they see what we see. We're just trying to help you because
yes,
that this is just an olive branch. This is not this, we mean no harm. We come in peace. Like we are not trying to, make fun of you or anything, but I just think that would be perfect. I think it's the perfect time. Saturday Night's Main Event is right there. If you lose that
yeah,
title, they're talking about these tag team titles. I'm like, why the freak not? But now moving on to our big boys. So I'll start with the two women's before we get into the two men. So first we have the women's world champion, which is Liv Morgan. So Liv Morgan, she won the women's Royal Rumble and became the greatest Royal Rumble winner of all time. And then she beat Stephanie Vaquera at WrestleMania and became the greatest women's world champion of all time, which we predicted, right? Which is great. Liv Morgan definitely deserved her flowers. She got that arm injury, which took her out for a very long time after
right,
her MVP year. So I think she definitely deserved this gold, bringing gold back to the Judgment Day. Um, right now we're definitely seeing a little bit of Judgment Day turmoil, but of course they're hiding it, basically saying they're still a family. Finn Balor is still looming, causing just randomly attacking them. That recent attack that he did on JD McDonald was so rough. Like, be careful, JD is like delicate and easy to break. Like, that was insane. So there's still that feud going on there. And they're still talking about Finn is not our family, even though Finn was the one who recruited Roxanne Perez. So they're still kind of looming in that. And Liv Morgan, whatever the equivalent of little broing someone is, Liv Morgan is doing that to Roxanne Perez. Like, oh, just follow us. Finn was not somebody you can trust. So yeah, and then of course they're talking about Roxanne and Raquel regaining those tag titles, but we know the truth. We know the truth. We know what's gonna happen. Also, in the midst of also seeing this, kind of looming tension between Roxanne and Liv, there's still some unfinished business between Raquel and Liv because
right,
Liv had many instances of interfering and ruining Raquel's chances when Stephanie Vaquer still had the title, and then also she eliminated her in the Royal Rumble. So there's still unfinished business. I think Liv has a target on her head without even realizing that the people who are sniping her, the people who got the red dot, are both the people in the same group that she's in. So there's definitely they could do this in a lot of different ways. They could
right.
have Roxanne be the victim and end up getting beat up like Finn did if she decides to rebel, or they could have Raquel and Roxanne turn on Liv, and then it's just Liv and Dom as the Bonnie and Clyde being on their own. So many different avenues that they could go because you know I don't see the titles going back on the Judgment Day, the tag team titles. I don't see
Right.
that.
Not yet. No.
Not yet. So yeah, I really think at least by SummerSlam, WWE loves, as soon as we catch on that there's turmoil, they love to elongate it as long as possible or make it never freaking happen. So, I think at least by SummerSlam we might see some more development, or maybe they think, hey, we're just gonna wait this out until sometime. But there is obvious tension. Every time when they decide to give them a script of constantly reminding us that there's nothing wrong and they're a family and they love each other, there's obviously something wrong and they're not a
Right.
family and they hate each other. It's literally the opposite. So I am looking forward to that. As soon as Roxanne Perez got the call up, I was very, very excited and positive to see what they would do with her. And I think it was a great move for them to add her to the Judgment Day and have her be, in that group. And she had tag team gold for a while. And then there was like this little awkward moment when Liv Morgan came back because they were kind of insinuating something between
Right.
Roxanne and Dom. But who knows? I don't know if they even pursue that story because, hey, Liv, you lose them how you get them. So who knows if they decide to do that? And then Dom just becomes this ran through bop of Judgment Day and like just getting all the girls that are like the recruits. Like what? But there's a lot of avenues they could go. My hope is that they just pick something. They choose something
Right.
to progress the story. I think right now Liv Morgan like um Sol Ruka actually had a match with Liv Morgan. So they have done, Sol Ruka has definitely, made her way around to kind of get an appetite of the
Yeah.
flavor. So they could always revisit that, of course. But I think yeah, Liv holds on to this title for a hot minute. For the whole like King of the Wing or sorry, King of the Wing, King of the Ring, Queen of the Ring kind of thing. I don't know which title that person ends up going against because there's only one King of the Ring and only one Queen of the Ring, and there's two titles. So I don't remember which one it is that they go against, but
Yeah.
whoever is the winner of that, it could be that they go against Liv or Rhea. I don't remember, but I think Sol Ruka definitely is somebody who could be. If she doesn't win, she could get pretty far in that tournament, and just somebody to kind of look out for Liv Morgan. But I think Liv Morgan has to kind of look out for her very group members as to who would take it from her. I think she has a target on her back and she don't even realize that it was them who put it on her.
You know what would create massive turmoil even more?
What?
A Money in the Bank briefcase.
Oh my gosh. I forgot even to mention that. That would. Absolutely.
If Raquel is walking around with that briefcase as a member of Day,
Raquel or Roxanne.
or Roxanne,
Yeah.
yeah,
Either one.
Roxanne,
I don't care either one.
yeah, either one of those walking around with that briefcase, she got to look over
Perfect.
her shoulder,
Yes,
and there's
like
already turmoil. You got cats.
exactly. Like,
Um,
oh my gosh. Could you imagine? Because I don't know if they're still doing this in Saudi because of the whole WrestleMania in Saudi, but they have like their champion versus champion thing.
oh
And
yeah,
like if they have a
um,
champion versus champion and the Money in the Bank person comes out, they could cash in on either one of them. And I'm like, I don't like who do they cash in on
that would
both?
be awesome.
Like
And
who
then
do they cash in
Roxanne
on?
pins Liv. That would be awesome.
Yeah, you think it's Rhea, and you're like, oh, of course she's cashing in on Rhea, or like whoever has it. It's likely
And
gonna
then
be
she
Rhea,
pushes Rhea out the
and she
ring
pushed her out their way, and it's Liv, and you're like,
and
oh,
pins Liv.
no, it was her. Oh my
And
god,
then
that would
she
be
cuts a
crazy.
promo like, "How dare you?" Blah blah blah
Yeah,
blah 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 blah.
like you never saw it coming.
And
Yeah.
then Dom walks over to her.
That is crazy. He just drops Liv immediately after she loses that title. That is so funny. Oh
Yeah, I
my
feel the
god.
same way about Liv though.
Mm-hmm.
She can run with it as a heel.
Yeah.
You have the inner turmoil right there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, when is even Money in the Bank? It's after.
September. It's
Yeah,
like a weird. Usually it's the summer one, but I think because they're doing their summer tour in Europe, they've
they
decided
pushed it
to
back.
push it back. So it's in September. Like, oh my
Those
god.
Survivor Series, I guess. Gosh, who knows? But yeah, I can't think of anyone right now
Mm-hmm.
for that title outside of that group. I don't know how long Stephanie Vicaire is out. Who knows
Yeah,
how long Naomi's being a mommy?
I
Um,
know, dude. Oh my god. And then Bianca. No.
we can kind of write her off.
Oh my god.
Um, personally, I like to see a mix up of the women on the rosters.
I agree.
Like we can have Charlotte and Liv. We can
Right?
have Bliss and Liv.
Ooh.
Like there's some spicy matchups.
Yeah.
Paige and Liv. Like,
Ooh.
I wouldn't mind a little mix up,
Hmm.
but let Liv get a run, a nice run with that title. She deserves it.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
yeah, that's where I am with her.
Hmm. And then we have our WWE Women's Champion as Mrs. Rhea Belletti Ripley, where she beat Jade Cargill at WrestleMania, which was to no surprise from anyone. So at this point now, the most recent person to I guess challenge her again is Jade. Jade came out and attacked her again with the her baddies or her new little faction, Michin and B-Fab, which I am very happy with them. I was very worried that they were going to be a part of the blip, but
Yeah.
they made it out and they're getting TV time, which is very exciting. Um, so I guess it is common the to get a rematch, like it is so common, but they've scheduled a tag match with Rhea and then like against Jade with her baddies, and then I think it's Rhea and then Charlotte and Alexa Bliss for Saturday night's main event. I think that's what they scheduled. So
Right.
it's not a championship match. They could schedule a championship match at Clash in Italy, which I personally think that I think the stipulation might be if Jade and them win, then Jade gets a rematch. And I think Jade and them will win because they have zero wins. They have zero wins. So I think Jade and them will get the win, and then that'll be enough justification for them to for her to get a rematch, to which Rhea will still beat her again. But
Right.
um oh my god, dude. And could you listen, I love when people bring life into the world. I love when people bring life into the world, but could you imagine if Bianca Belair was coming back to wrestle? Oh my gosh, it would have
Man,
been.
we're looking at 2028 probably.
God, I'll be
It just
so old.
announced.
I'll be so old. Oh my god, I'll be so
Will we
old.
even care about wrestling?
I hope so because the WWE WrestleMania will be in Nashville.
Oh, we hope.
True. It could be taken away.
Yeah,
They,
they
they
could be
could
like
they
Saudi again,
Vegas again, or yeah,
Las
double back to
Vegas
Saudi.
again.
Yeah, let's go Saudi. So that's true
Yeah,
because they took it away from New Orleans. So they can take it away from they can take it away from anyone at this point.
yeah, they could.
Um, if the money's right.
Right, right, right. Um, as far as Rhea, I mean, I don't have any person that I would possibly use right now. She just got it.
She just got it. Yeah.
It could be a situation. What other heels do they have other than Jade, Nia?
Right.
Like Lash had Lash had a stare down with her.
She did, and
There's
I
something
have
there.
seen, yeah, I have seen some people, be like, hey man, Lash and Nia don't have to split up, but if they're in the Queen of the Ring type beat,
I mean,
Lash
I don't
could
know about
win
her.
that.
I don't know about her winning the title, but
Right. She could go against because Lash and Nia actually had a fantastic no contest end match with Rhea and Io at the time when Rio was still they have great chemistry together. Rhea Ripley, I think Rhea Ripley enjoys being the smaller one in fights sometimes because she gets to do her
right,
Cirque du Soleil stuff. So Lash definitely is one of the few women that make Rhea look smaller. So I think they would have a great match together if they wanted to kind of give Lash an opportunity because yeah, it's funny because a lot of the times whenever it comes to new talent coming up, it's either they say, "Yep, you're going to be solo run and, kind of challenge somebody with a mid-tier title or we're going to put you in a tag faction with, a ring general or somebody who's, a veteran and then that's how you get your come up." So I am curious to see the future for Lash because it'll be exciting. And they do the
right.
whoop that trick when she's in the ring. They do it.
I don't like that.
I don't either. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't like that at
I'm not
all.
a fan of it. I think they should just let them be a
Let her
part,
be her own. Yeah, she need to come up with her own
but
thing.
it can't be helped honestly. Like it
Yeah,
can't
you
be
can
helped.
forget about it.
Like right. Like when Seth was a face and Becky was a face, they would do the oh and they do the yes thing when Brie goes Brie mode. If you have a husband who's in this,
Yeah, who's
like they're
popular?
gonna say something unless you're popular first. Like I think, and I'm kind of going somewhere else, but personally I think when I don't actually know his WWE name right now, but he's called Evil, Io Sky's husband. I think
Heroku, something like that.
something. there's a possibility, especially with an NXT crowd, they might see him and start doing this. Like they might see him and start doing that.
I
So
think he's gonna be a heel. Like
yeah,
come on.
right. He's a heel, but hey, you can't control the
It
crowd,
doesn't matter. The
so
crowd's gonna
it
do
doesn't
what they
matter.
want.
Like they just like or at the very least they'll like cheer. Like they like to cheer people's names. Like they like to cheer AJ Lee when CM Punk was there. They like to cheer CM Punk when AJ Lee is there. So
Right,
if you're
right.
married, you can't. It can't be helped.
There's
You're.
nothing you can
It's
do.
just inevitable. So yeah, like um yeah, it's just I don't like it. I think because Lash is a heel, you know, so
Right,
they don't
right.
need to be chanting that, but you know, whatever. It
They
is what it
really
is.
they really need heels, but I
Yeah.
do have somebody, possibly, if they want to
Oh.
pull the trigger.
Ooh.
Fatal influence. JCJ. No, I don't
JC
know.
Jane. She did have a good
She's
match
a
against Rhea.
US Intercontinental.
Everything. And she let her have all the titles and win the Money in the Bank. She catches in on herself. Then what? Then what?
She cashes in and wins the US title from herself. I mean, hey, maybe they're gonna go in that line eventually of having like
That she had a match against Rhea and it was great.
she did. Did
Hmm.
she pin her
I I don't
in a tag match? I
in
think.
a tag match, but I don't think in the 1-on-1.
No, not the one on one. One on one, she went against Bliss or Charlotte.
No,
She
like JC Jane
JC
when
Jane pinned Charlotte Flair.
yeah, JC Jane pinned Charlotte Flair. She had a 1-on-1 with Rhea Ripley though. Like when they first came to
Oh,
interrupt
you know
everyone.
what? That's the one. Is that the one when Jade came out and attacked her?
Yeah,
You can't.
no. That
Okay.
wasn't because I think Jade came in and attacked her, and then like Lady Reed was like, "Good job." Like they were there, but Lady was like, "Yeah, you good job." It was really funny. But that was like it was the first time when all the other like tag team women were out there, and then Fatal Influence came out and like shocked everyone. Everyone was like, "Fatal Influence! Oh my god!" And then of course, the rookie that wants to come and badmouth everyone, and then of course Rhea Ripley, know your place. Da 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 da. So they did have a 1-on-1, which was a good match. SmackDown is just wait, was it on SmackDown or Raw?
It had to be on SmackDown.
Yeah, SmackDown is just so long that sometimes things get lost in the sauce.
Oh, absolutely.
So,
But as far as Rhea, yeah, she hang on to the title. She's the
hmm
star. She's probably the biggest star in the company, not named
yes,
Roman Reigns.
hmm
Um, so yeah, hang on to it till you
hmm
build somebody up.
yes. Fatal influence. I know. Let me
Yeah,
whisper. Let me like go to their house and like hypnotize them. Like fatal influence. I don't know. But speaking of Roman Reigns, that takes us to the Men's World Heavyweight Championship, which is Mr. Roman Reigns, Mr. Tribal Chief, Mr. Head of the Table. He won it at WrestleMania against CM Punk, which honestly, I was surprised. I didn't know which route they would go. The old man who makes it through, or the person who can do it on their own without any help from their family, and they chose the latter. And I was concerned because I wasn't sure if he was actually going to show up. To which he then said, "You're going to see me all summer," and then he's not going to be
oh
there all
yeah,
summer.
psych.
Just kidding. Which I think that has to do with the whole overseas type of thing going on. But I mean, at this point, we have seen Roman Reigns basically on every show, and they basically entered into what I thought this was gonna come like way sooner before, but they have finally done. Jacob Fatu, and this turmoil with the whole bloodline, right? Because obviously the lone wolf, like he's not gonna follow this whole like P's and Q's. I gotta listen to the tribal chief. Jacob Fatu don't listen to no directions. So everybody knew that there was of course going to be some friction and some tension between him and Roman at some point, and then they decided to do it now. So I am excited to see like how far they decide to take this story. I mean, he already, he won in his match against Drew McIntyre, gave him a good amount of heat. And then finally he went against Roman Reigns at Backlash. We knew that he was not going to win that. I was curious on if the Usos were going to interfere, but
Right.
he lost to Roman Reigns without that. So to which then Roman Reigns was not satisfied with that because he did not get acknowledged. He didn't acknowledge me, and that's what family's supposed to do.
And he
So
crushed his throat.
that's true. He did the whole crushed throat thing, which
Yeah.
you know I never knew what that move was. But I did hear a great point about sometimes that what WWE does when it comes to certain moves they're trying to put over, they don't have the person sell it like in terms of the aftermath of it. Like in the moment, they'll sell it, of course, because Roman Reigns acted like he was dying. But then, he was spick and span, pitch posh after the following week. So I have heard some criticisms about that, about okay, if you want to make
Right.
that like a move that is so detrimental, Roman Reigns should be struggling to talk. It shouldn't just be like, oh, he's good. I mean, yeah, he's ranked like 108 in WWE, but like, come on, like he shouldn't be able to like heal immediately. Um,
He's a
but
turtle.
yes, Jacob Fatu completely destroyed the bloodline altogether. And that your picture is actually the ending picture that we saw. So he's still after that title. He has no intention of acknowledging Roman Reigns. So I foresee them kind of drawing this out a little bit, which it makes sense because right now there really is not anyone. I mean, I know what my background is, but like in the immediate time right now, there isn't anyone that's like challenging Roman, right? So it makes sense that they're having some family turmoil because Jacob Fatu has always like that the way that they put him on, he came up with Solo, but like still he's always been that like I'm on my own. Like I don't need nobody. Like we saw it from the beginning. As soon as they, he was like the whole I love you Solo, but when we got to see him talk, we're like, "Oh yeah. That is bacon. We know that
Yeah.
he's going to be fine on his own." So, I am excited to see I am very torn. I don't know if, because Roman Reigns loves to put his family over. He loves to do that for his family. Like, yes, his head of the table, but Joe, I think he wants to give the rub to the Usos. He's
Yeah,
on
he's done
TV.
it.
He wants to because it was like a super long time before he got pinned, and then Jey Uso was the one who pinned him after such a long freaking time. Before, of course, Cody Rhodes beat him at that WrestleMania. But yeah, I'm just like he does love to do that. So I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, you know what? Yeah, I will let Jacob defeat me, but I don't know because the Usos are now back on his side, basically right back to where the story began from the start. So I'm like, I don't know if I'm fully convinced that they'll be like, yeah, it's gonna be Jacob to defeat him. Because then if it's not Jacob, then it's like who? Right? If the Usos are not they're not cheating for him anymore, they're not playing that whole evil bloodline type stuff that they used to do. I'm like, who is going to be the person? If of course the man on my background is not the person to do it, because it's hey, we talked about doing things too soon. It might be a little too soon. He could easily win the King of the Ring. He's already doing these. He already has his own open challenge. Like that is insane. Like it's insane. Like with how quickly um things have happened for him, which it makes sense because of how over he is. But like you have to be established for somebody to be like,
Right.
yeah, you get your own open challenge, right? So I'm like, I don't know, maybe they think he's ready. And if he does win the King of the Ring, does he end up beating Roman Reigns if Roman Reigns is the person he faces? There is speculation, and I'm kind of jumping to the other title, but there is speculation that, depending on what title is defended at the whole King of the Ring result, it may not even be Roman that we have to worry about when it comes to what title Oba gets next. But going on to this whole Jacob and Roman thing, I would be kind of happy if Jacob ultimately gets that title. I think he deserves it. He's been a solo long enough. He's gotten the mid-tier title. He got the U.S. title. He had to run with that. He's been at multiple feuds, and has had amazing matches. So, you know, and what better way to do it from a family member, from a relative, So I
Right.
think the way they're doing this, he lost the first one, but maybe in this new like heel evil persona, he just absolutely desecrates Roman Reigns, and then he wins that title, and maybe he's just like the evil lone wolf heel with the title for the time being.
I think their next match should be in a cage or something. It's got to be more
Yes, there
extreme.
has to be more stuff. Yeah.
But one thing I will say, not to skip to the other one,
Hmm.
Obafemi and Roman Reigns is a WrestleMania main event.
That is a WrestleMania main event, not SummerSlam.
Not
WrestleMania.
SummerSlam, not any other mid-level PLE. That is
Yeah,
a WrestleMania Night 2 main event.
I
So
agree.
I don't think you can have that match yet. Um, I will say, I wish and I hope that they do have the guts to put the title on Jacob Fatu.
Mm-hmm.
What other story are you doing with Roman Reigns?
Exactly.
That whole bloodline thing ultimately, it started to get so stale and redundant after a while.
Yeah.
Like he's taken off some time. Like I feel like, man, let's see Jacob, and then he has some fresh feuds with the Usos,
Yes.
and then other people. Him
Yes.
and LA Knight, him and
Yeah.
him and Penta, him like that would add some freshness. Like that backlash match after he held up that title, he looked like he could be the champion to me.
Yes.
I think he should absolutely be the one and implement that Tongan death grip.
Yes.
Implement
Yes.
that. But yeah, that was Haku's move. Like he would do
Mm-hmm.
that. That was the move, and yeah, it was looked at as, oh my God, he's gonna crush his
He's
larynx.
dead. Yeah. This is
But
obvious.
yeah, that's what I want to see. I
Yeah.
don't know where else you go with Roman Reigns.
Right.
Like I
Right.
do not want to see. I mean, I do want to see him in over Femi. I just think that's a WrestleMania.
Not yet. Yeah. Yeah.
Just is just as big or bigger as him and Brock.
Yeah.
Like I, because look, let's be honest. Him and Brock was the main match. I
Yeah.
think a lot of people wanted to see more so than Punk and
Mm-hmm.
Roman or Cody and Randy Orton.
Mm-hmm.
He was the main event.
I agree.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you hold that match off
Until
until
WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, but you don't keep
Mm-hmm.
the title from him. But I'll let you move on to the next one.
Before I do, I actually like you made a really great point. Like because of the caliber that Roman Reigns is in, I think he is higher regarded than the title that he's holding right now. And that
Yes,
makes it way harder for him to have matches and feuds. Like this family feud is the only thing that actually fits well. While for Jacob,
right. Who's
he
he gonna
can
fight?
yeah,
Penta?
like it's like and that's the thing, like it's comedic, it's almost comedic when you hear different people because it's like them against Roman, why would you do that? And the person wanting the title isn't even enough because it's Roman Reigns we're talking about here. He is the highest level person in WWE because 11 main events of WrestleManias. Not even, oh, 11 WrestleManias is all he's been in. No, he's been in more than 11 WrestleManias. He's been in 11 WrestleMania main events. He held the title for over 1,000 days. No old body can just go against Roman. Like,
Ooh, wait.
what?
Need a pin. They had their cage match. They had their cage matches coming down to the wire. We had 5 to 10 false finishes.
Yeah.
A black hoodie comes out. Another black hoodie comes out. I don't care who's in the black hoodie, but this time they beat down Roman Reigns. And Jacob wins that way. There's a
Ooh.
million Fatus.
That's
Let what
it could be Zilla. Like Zilla can go right
any of
now.
them. Any of them. I don't care. Let it be Solo. Solo helps him.
Oh, that's interesting.
Solo was the one that
He
called him
brought
and
him
brought
up.
him
He brought
in.
him up. Yeah.
I
That's
want to see
interesting.
this. I want that man holding that title.
Yes, absolutely. But now finally going to the undisputed WWE champion, and it is Mr. American Nightmare Cody Rhodes. Easy to find and hard to beat. I think that's his new rapper tag now. I think he's trying to get his new rapper tag.
Bars.
Um, easy to find, hard to beat. But yes, so right now Cody Rhodes is wait, okay, wait, how did it happen? Oh yeah, okay, so at WrestleMania I was like, wait, how did it happen? He won successfully won, retained against Randall Keith Orton, which, unfortunately, they had this whole build up to the match, which we've had our criticisms on the build up and all the players involved, and as far as the execution of the match, it did feel a little slow, with the chemistry. I mean, they have 20 plus years of history together, but unfortunately the way it was executed, like, I don't know if I can say that I fully enjoyed what could have been one of the best builds and executions of a feud, but hey, maybe they revisit it and they do it better. But long story short, Cody retained at WrestleMania, and now what next? What's next for Cody Rhodes, right? Because we haven't seen RKO in a while after, like, I mean, we haven't seen him once after WrestleMania, and we actually uh Wait, I think we saw CM Punk. Yeah, CM Punk and Cody Rhodes actually had a little bit of a promo together where Cody was like, "I feel like a loser," and Punk was like, "I still feel like a winner even though I lost." To which they kind of, was like, "Hey man, who knows? It could be us against each other in the future." And we're like, "Okay, what are they gonna do with Cody exactly?" And then Gunther attacked Cody on a random day. So yeah, after this whole Seth and Gunther thing, that was just a little placeholder because we know that Braun couldn't like go in a match versus Seth. So Gunther has moved on to Cody Rhodes, and they're basically playing it like this was a favor that Paul Heyman owed him. So yeah, Gunther and Cody are going to have a match together, which I actually thought this was going to come a lot sooner than it did, but I guess this is just the most like advantageous
Right.
point where they could do it. Um, they played it where Gunther was kind of playing some games and he was like, "Yeah, I'm not going to sign it." And then Royce Keys came out and was like, "Oh yeah, well, I'll sign it." And then that's how they that's how they set up the main event for that night. But regardless, it is official. Cody Rhodes versus Gunther in Clash in Italy, which is interesting because even though that's not quite where Gunther is from, Gunther has a little bit more home field advantage than Cody Rhodes does. Granted, Cody Rhodes, he's Teflon, he'll get cheered any which way. The Europeans are fantastic when it comes to coming up with chants, and Gunther
Yeah.
isn't a super duper heel. He's evil, and he killed off all of our favorite people ever. So people are still gonna boo Gunther. But because this is not for Saturday Night's Main Event and this for Clash, I don't know. A little bit high. I mean, because Saturday's Main Event is not technically a PLE, and Clash is. So it makes me think they might pull out a little bit of a surprise. And hey, Gunther might come out victorious with that title, and I would be happy to see that. Gunther, he at this point he's kind of like a made man. So
Right.
he absolutely can take this title. He has not had the undisputed champion yet. He's only had the world champion. So it'd be cool to see a little different title. But we already know how Gunther's title reigns go. He's just a perfect heel. He's the perfect heel, and it just makes it so great when we see a face chase after him to get the title. It always does. Every single time without fail. It's just such a great David and Goliath match that he creates because usually he's much larger than his competitor. So I am excited for this. I think they'll have a fantastic match as per usual. His match with Seth Rollins, even though it was like an audible, they went and they delivered. It was a great
Could
match.
argue for one of the best matches of the whole thing. I mean,
Absolutely.
Roman and
Well,
Punk was,
yeah,
yeah.
that
Let
was
me
that
not. Let
was
me shut up.
that was cinematography, but at least race for second
Some
place.
people can argue. You could probably put a good case in court.
Yes, you could put a good case in court for sure. But yeah, Gunther, he's just amazing. So, you know, I was very worried about how the crowd would act after Cody and Randy because they just, didn't really know how to tell that story, unfortunately. The writing was terrible. So Cody was getting booed, Randy was getting cheered, and people were confused. But at this point, Cody is getting those comfortable cheers as he does. He's cutting those comfortable promos as he does. I think he has a little bit more of an edge on him with, some of his promos, I think. Because I think people were just kind of tired of his garden variety, come out here and challenge me, which he still kind of does, but he
Enough.
yeah, enough. But yeah, now he's adding a little bit of a spice to
Little
his
stank.
promos, a little stank to it. We know how Raheem is, but yeah, I think they could pull a surprise and Gunther could win, especially because there's still unfinished business with Randy Orton and Cody Rhodes. I don't think that's how you I that cannot be their last hoorah.
Oh, could
And
he show
it,
up?
yeah, so I was just about to say that. I'm like, it is so commonplace when the heels don't immediately get a rematch, they show up to ruin something, and then maybe they continue the feud between Cody and Randy without even a title involved. And they can actually tell a story from the beginning. Teacher and student, like, please tell us
I
this
like
story
that.
how it's
I like
supposed
that
to
a
go.
lot.
Because I'm like, hey, that's a SummerSlam match. They don't need a title for it. That they can be in SummerSlam with no title. It's Cody Rhodes and Randall Keith Orton, and no other people involved. Literally, no one. Nothing. No one. No one. Not even. Please.
Nobody. Nothing.
Like not
Zilch.
not even
Nada.
no spouses, no family. I don't care. I don't care, dude. No fathers, no mothers, nothing. I don't want to see another human being in that ring except the ref, and no other people outside the ring except the commentators. Please, I'm begging you. Oh my gosh.
I like that a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
like that so much. Them doing what they should have gave us for Mania.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Mania is definitely the more corporate PLE. They could definitely do
Yes.
that at SummerSlam. I don't think
Yes.
like if TKO was involved, you're not going to see any celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
But I absolutely want Gunther to take this title
Mm.
and have a not. He should have the Darby Allin run. Darby Allin is challenging some people every week, having matches. Ultimately, we know is going back to MJF.
Yes.
This is what they should do with Gunther because that
Mm-hmm.
man behind you
Mm-hmm.
is the one to be Gunther. The pop he will get. Have Gunther just decimate all of your favorite faces.
Yes.
They get chances to go for the world title, but nope. He does that clothesline and that Rhea Ripley pin or that power bomb and that Rhea Ripley pin and pins your favorite person. Just like, yeah, I want to see him be Cody. Cody can definitely move on. He's at a stage without having a title, although he's QB1, but
Mm-hmm.
he don't need the title. I
Mm-hmm.
think having Gunther with that and having a dominant run is what they need. I don't
Yes.
know. And like I said, you can build up people. You can have them fight LA Knight. LA
Mm-hmm.
Knight shows up, challenges, do the same. Like I said, Darby Allin is fighting random folks. I think he got a match against you next week. Like, and you're gonna throw him off the top through a table. But
On fire.
on fire through glass with sharks and lasers.
Real glass.
Real
Yeah.
glass. Um, but yeah, Gunther's the guy. He is the
Mm-hmm.
guy for that title. I like your point about he hasn't held the WWE world title. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so and he's definitely a guy that they're building up and that they love. That he's
Mm-hmm.
not gonna disappoint you in his matches.
Mm-hmm.
He's the guy, and give him a nice heel world championship run and make you mad.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this person
Yeah.
Javon's gonna take him out. Nope,
Yeah, please, please. Nope.
nope. Clothesline, power bomb, hug him and choke him out. That's what I want. That's what they should do. WWE, in the words of the great Batista, give me what I want. Give me what I want.
Please, please. But I mean, that is the last titles. Is there anything on your mind that you want to air out to the masses?
I mean, you talked about the open challenge, and basically, Oba made himself a title. He's a title himself. Um,
Exactly.
it's just a case of how do you go from Brock Lesnar to like Otis and then Berto and Angel
Mm-hmm.
and like I don't know if you can throw away. I would like to see like oh my God, can you imagine? And the word is he might be injured. Can you imagine if Randy Orton answered the open challenge?
Oh my gosh.
I think you absolutely like
That would be insane.
he's been talking trash online. I don't know if he has the knees for it, but give Braun Strowman like a appearance, pay him to challenge him,
Why not?
and then get almost as a guy that Oba has to look up to.
Yes.
But then he hits him with that fall from grace, like give us something. It's just lazy booking.
It is lazy. It is lazy.
But I mean, you don't want to derail the steam that he has right now. I don't know if you can. That crowd was lame as hell in
Yeah.
Knoxville. That crowd was lame. They did the dance,
Silent.
but then it's like after 1 week, you already got everybody scared.
Yeah, that's come on now.
Yeah, that crap. But but yeah, that's all. That's all I got. I think we covered the titles. I think that's the main thing we got going right now is do they make the right decision? I
Mm-hmm.
think I look at AEW taking that title off of MJF.
Mm-hmm.
People criticized it. Um, I think Darby Allin was just he's the right guy. He's an original for that company. He's having great matches that
Yeah.
everybody's seeing. But and they're gonna give it back to MJ. MJF ain't losing his hair that he just had medically transplanted in Turkey. He ain't losing his hair.
What? But, I don't know when that match is. Like they're like for hair for title or whatever.
I don't remember when it is.
I forgot. I need to check when it is. But that was so funny that like I think I sent it in the chat. But
yeah, that segment of
he was walking in the back.
That was a very WWE SmackDown type segment.
It was because he was just everybody was bald.
Yeah,
and he was like, "Oh no, that's my future."
Yeah, look, I'm such a mark for that guy. He just gets it. He
does.
He is just pure entertainment. I'm a mark. I'm sorry, but yeah, I mean that's all I got. You know, figure out something to do with Obafemi while he's in hover mode. What can you do to make it interesting and not have him lose steam? Yeah, because he's a title himself. He's a title that we didn't talk about. But yeah, that's it. That's the show. That's the podcast. That's our discussion. What do you think? Where should these titles go? I feel like I'm helping. We're helping creative.
We're helping. We come in peace.
We come in peace. Give every title the fatal influence. That's the theme of this show. With that, DDT is out.
Bye.
You just can't get up from that.